Hey guys, Jonathan Feist here for Drone Rush. Recently home from AUVSI Xponential in Chicago. Had the chance to sit down with Robert Murphy from Panasonic looking at their Toughbook drone controllers. Let's check them out.
So Jonathan, thanks for coming by Panasonic's booth here. We're in booth 3603 at AUVSI 2019. There's a lot of excitement for the customers here because Panasonic's representing our rugged mobility Toughbooks and Toughpads for whether it's general computing, drone control command, or video viewing, as well as other applications for mobility of data. A couple of things that we are really finding that the operators and the technologists from the unmanned technologies are looking for is the ability to have screens that can be seen in bright daylight. So all the products that we'll talk about a little more in depth as we go through here all represent 800 nit viewable screens, so they are able to be seen very clearly in bright broad daylight. A couple of other things that we've noticed from the technologists and the operators of unmanned technologies that we're looking for is the ability for longer use in the field. So the products that we show here are commercial grade products that have the options of a bridge capable battery. So it's not uncommon for a 12-hour out in the field experience to be able to have continuous connectivity. When the battery begins to go low, you'll see on an icon on the display, and you'll have about a half a minute to take that battery out, still not lose any connectivity, and swap out and put another full charge battery in to continue your use. A few other things, for myself, I represent our Navy and Marine Corps team. But in general, for business, for unmanned operators, you're looking for a product that's able to be out in the austere conditions. So all the products that you see here in our booth are what we call mil-spec 810G, designed for extreme weather conditions, from very cold temperatures to very warm temperatures, to moisture, rain, snow. And of course the displays, they're also all to be able to utilize with your gloves on. So you don't have to have gloves off and fumble around to try to keep operating. A couple of other things to mention about the products, why I think that the unmanned industry is really coming over towards Panasonic is because we are a core manufacturer. Panasonic's a 100-year-old company, and all the products that you see here are manufactured in Panasonic factories. Even down to the component level, very little bit do we have to outsource at a component level, so therefore we have extremely high standards for quality control. Nothing leaves off our shelf in a factory until it's been tried and true and tested, and really designed to set out there and for many, many years to come for the AUV users. We have had our controllers such as AUVSI M1, where Lockheed, CTI, some other manufacturers will put their own wrapper around it with their joystick controllers, but really inside what it is the durability factor of that Panasonic Toughbook that's able to perform for such long periods of time for them. So to answer your question, Jonathan, yes, there has been some third-party systems integrators that are definitely tuning into the Panasonic Toughbook message and seeing the value for it. So Jonathan, you also mentioned, is there some systems integrators that are in the market utilizing Panasonic Toughbook products? I did like to point out that we've been hearing some great stories of users from Aerion Defense, which is now FLIR. They're using our AUVSI G1s for command and control and for video viewing, and had great experiences on it with our AUVSI G1. Even at that consumer grade level, desires to have a controller that's going to be able to be out in conditions. And I mentioned earlier about that daylight reading. Time is money, money is time. So if you're out in the field, even at a novice level, it's still costing you money every time you open up that case and you pull out your drone and your controller. So the quicker you're up and flying, or quicker you're up into mission, you need to be able to have a controller that you could rely on. So I would definitely suggest, whether it be a standalone tablet, a 2-in-1, or a PC, we could talk about a little more on the specific products. So Jonathan, you were also asking about durability, and I mentioned about what Panasonic goes to great extents to make sure that we have high standards for quality control. At any PC, the operating system inside is really the root of the product as well. So we're very fortunate that all of our products and our partnerships with Microsoft, Intel, and Windows is really what keeps our products up and running strong. We do the hardware side of it, and it's really worked out very well and been received by the unmanned community very strongly. Please stop by, hear a little bit more of how Panasonic has listened closely to the unmanned users and operators and heard their pain points of readability of the LCDs, long lives of battery, and quality of the controls. And we'd gladly show you by example of some of the things that Panasonic represents to solve those pain points for you.
Hey, thank you, Robert. It was fun walking through your line of Toughbooks to see the kind of versatility you have in the devices and the hardware in order to better control our drones. These are certainly rugged devices made for versatility in the field, but I can imagine myself using this to better fly just in the backyard. And thank you guys for joining us. If you like what you see here, we always appreciate that thumbs up. And if you consider subscribing, hit that bell icon and make sure you see what comes next. We got a little bit more coming from AUVSI Xponential 2019 in Chicago. Thanks again. Fly safe.